Hello, welcome back to the weekly crystal reading. My name is Lindsey Walker and I am here for your weekly reading. I know that I have been gone, absent for about 2 weeks and haven't posted one of these, but I am back. I was on a spiritual business retreat and then just had quite a bit of integration to go through after that retreat. So just a lot of upgrades, a lot of stuff going on. So this is one of those things I just needed to set aside for a little bit, but I am back, ready to go, ready to give you your reading this week. So let's dive in. I'll give you a quick explanation of what this reading is and how you can use it if this is your first time joining us, and then we will get into the reading. So let's get started. So for using this reading, you can use it a couple different ways. So you can either ask a question, you can just think about an area or topic of your life that you would like some guidance or some messages for, and you can either pick one question or two questions. So I'm going to be showing you two different crystals, and this is a practice for you to use your intuition to be able to choose which crystal you're going to choose, and that's what messages you're going to receive. You can use either one question or two questions, again, one topic or two topics of your life, and then you'll decide which crystal you're going to be answered by. So I'm going to show the crystals to you, and just by a quick glance, that is how you're going to choose which crystal you're going to be answered by. And that is going to be your practice of your intuition guiding you to that answer. So no logical mind, no thinking about your response, no thinking about your answer. Just that first gut response. When you see the crystals, you're thinking about your question, and that is how you're going to know which messages you'll be receiving. So first, we're going to ground into your question and just set the intention for this reading. So go ahead and close your eyes. Take some deep breaths. Get your questions set in your mind. If you have one or two or just an area of life that you would like some guidance for, get that set. All right, let's get started. So as soon as I show you both crystals, you're going to decide if you're going to be answered by crystal number 1 or crystal number 2. So here's crystal number 1 for today. And as always, I'll give you the name of the crystals in the reading because we don't want you to use the name to make your decision. And crystal number 2 here. Just at first glance, your automatic reaction, letting your intuition guide you to be able to choose. And small disclaimer, this is not a reading of the actual crystals as far as the metaphysical or aspects of the crystals. I'm using the crystals as a physical object for us to receive messages through and just using it as a focus point. So just so you know that. All right, you should have your crystal chosen, and let's get started. So if you chose crystal number 1, you chose vanadinite. So the message you need to receive if you chose this crystal is to shine bright and go after what you want. So whatever you're asking about, don't wait for others to give you permission. No matter what it is, maybe you're a little hesitant, maybe you're scared, maybe you're like that person that's looking for the sign. Here's your sign. If you're looking for signs, I just gave it to you right here. And it just feels like you're so excited, like you're ready. I just saw this like beautiful bright light. The funny part was, when I was actually choosing which crystal to read first, I had originally chosen to read this one second. No real rhyme or reason. That was just kind of what I had chosen. And as I was in meditation, this one just came forward so quickly. And it was just like, no, you're going to read me first. It was like so eager. And so that's really part of the message is like, it's really your eagerness, your excitedness. It feels that way, but maybe you're not actually taking action on that feeling. So go after it, stop waiting around. This is your time. This is your sign. Literally, I wrote down, no more waiting. The time is now. And the emotion that really came up for this one is hope. And hope in just that, not that more negative tone where you're just like, you're hoping you're waiting for someone else to give it to you. It's like the hope and dreams of everything that you aspire to be, everything that you desire. It's all right there. It's all within your grasp, but you do have to go for it. You do have to make that move and really pursue whatever you're asking about. And that is it for crystal number 1. So I hope that was helpful, and I hope that is what you needed to hear. It might not be what you wanted to hear, but it's what you needed. All right, so now let's move on to crystal number 2, right here. So if you chose this crystal, this is the Illumination Euphorolite. So I think it was the last video I did 2 euphorolites. You'll notice a lot of them, they all look different. This is just another form of euphorolite. If you chose this crystal, this one is a little bit heavier. If you chose this one, it's not as bright and fluffy as the first one. Not saying the first one was fluffy, but it was a little bit more of like excited energy, the first one. This one's heavier. It looked like you're stuck in this infinite loop of repeating patterns. Like I just saw a spinning loop. It was like this spinning tornado almost, but it was just like you kept coming back around and coming back around and coming back around, and you're just repeating patterns. So what I got from this is to be able to break these patterns, because it felt like the pattern that you are just circling around, like you're getting really frustrated. And it also felt like you are sort of just doing the same things and expecting different results. Those same things are not going to work to get out of this spiral. But you must be intentional and do something different to break the cycle. So really using that frequency of your intention behind whatever you do to change to be able to break that cycle. That was what felt like it was really going to be helpful for you. The reason being, it has to be so intentional and so, I don't want to say dramatic, but I mean, intention and frequency was just really like the best words I could use to describe this, because it's such a deep cycle. Like for some of you, it may even be generational. Like you are the generational cycle breaker for your family. So it's not going, you might have to go against the norm or what's maybe accepted in your family for you to break out of this loop. So that's why I said it was like a little bit heavier, because it's going to take maybe some creativity from your side, maybe just more effort than you're used to putting in. And you have to realize that it's not just you that is counting on you to break out of these patterns, to break out of this loop, this tornado that you just keep coming back and around. It's like, it was almost like deja vu times 20. I just kept seeing the same thing, the same thing, the same thing. So really sit down, think about what you were asking, and think about what you've been doing. Maybe what's working and what's not. Have you been doing the same things? Have you tried something different, or you feel like you tried something different, but like really the energy behind it was the same thing? Here's the other thing. Like if you're trying, that's why I said frequency and intention is so important with this one. Say you tried something different. You tried to do it a little bit differently and it still didn't work. Well, if your intention behind it was the exact same and the exact same frequency as when you were doing the thing before, your intention behind it is the same, even though your actions were different, but you're not seeing results. That's why. You need to change the intention or the frequency behind your actions. So yes, change your actions, because the original actions that you're just going to like circle on over and over again, they're not working. Yeah, you have to change your actions, but you have to change the frequency behind the actions too. If you match the frequency, and you change your action, it's not going to help. You have to change both. So the emotion that came up for this was courage. It's going to take a lot of courage to make this change and break out of this pattern, potentially break this generational cycle for your family, and really move forward for you. So again, I said it at the beginning, this one was a little bit heavier if you did choose this one, but it did feel like it's very much possible. You just need that redirection, especially with the intention. Like, that is going to be your key. And I know I've said it so many times, but truly look at the intention behind all of your actions of what you're doing. I think you'll really be surprised at maybe what you've been missing. And that is it for crystal number 2. I hope that was helpful for you and maybe gives you a little bit of guidance, support, and just the messages that you needed today. So if you loved this video, please like and subscribe and even share it with a friend, maybe who hasn't seen it before and could really use some guidance in their life. I know this is just like a fun way to bring some guidance and messages in your life and get a free reading. So go and share it. And if you are looking for a little bit deeper dive, if you love these readings, but you want a full hour dedicated just to you, my intuitive symptom readings are open for booking. So they are for anyone that's looking to dive deep into the root cause of their symptoms. So if you're someone that's tried every diet, every supplement, every biohacking device, but you still don't feel your best, you still don't have any answers, and you just really don't feel well, this reading is for you. And you'll receive the exact messages your body is trying to communicate to you, as well as a custom healing, all in 1 hour. So if you are interested, head over to my website at soulfamwellness.com. The link is down in the description below. You can also find me on Instagram at soulfamwellness. Send me a DM. We can chat if you have any questions. And I will see you next week for the next reading. Have a great one.